Mr. Durkar once said, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerdy Optometrist, a podcast channel for all things optometry. And this is your host, Ukti Vora. Today, we have a special episode focusing on an upcoming event, which we are all excited about. We are going to do a special segment, which is going to talk about the upcoming conference of the second IVI International Conference, focusing on eye health in the changing world. And to give us a little more glimpse about this amazing event, I have none other but the CEO of IVI, Mr. Vinod Daniel. Mr. Vinod Daniel needs no introduction, but just to kind of give you a quick brief about him, he's the CEO of IVI, which is a non-profit organization working to provide access to primary eye care and free glasses for children and adults in the underprivileged community across India. His work with India Vision Institute in vision screening and optometry development is making an impact in a largely underserved sector of primary healthcare in the country. Thank you so much, Mr. Vinod Daniel, to this podcast. A warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Ukti, and thank you, Nerdy Optometrist, for this opportunity. And I'm delighted to be part of this.
Awesome. And this is the second time we have collaborated, and I'm working closely with this upcoming international conference. And I am really excited to know more. I was part of the first one, and this is the second one. We are again going virtual. What should people expect in this second conference that's coming up?
Yeah. See, I think first of all, as you said, the pandemic has kind of made a lot more things go online.
Yes.
Including our annual conference, which we started actually online last year. Mm-hmm. It was very productive, successful. The feedback we've got, has been phenomenal. We had close to 1,500 delegates who participated from around the world, but predominantly from the Africa, Asia Pacific region. We had a very strong representation from India.
Right.
And there has been quite a bit of interest for this kind of an international gathering to happen every year, and hence we are doing the second international optometry conference, Eye Health in a Changing World. It's from the 9th to the 11th of September this year. Please do register, benefit, participate, network. And the technical sessions, are going to be phenomenal. Our focus this year would be, among other things, would include myopia, would include the role and influence of big data and artificial intelligence in eye care, the human resource challenges, that this sector faces, not just in India, but many other developing countries. And of course, right. It's been great that the Allied Health Bill has been passed here, but the kind of legislative frameworks and associated issues that one needs to do to progress this sector, all these would be focus areas.
Wonderful. And I'm really excited about it, to be honest, because I was part of the first virtual conference as a media partner, as an attendee, and have seen one thing which I have to highlight, and people who haven't registered yet or were not part of the first conference, I have to say, if you are hesitant, don't be. Just do log in and register, because the platform that has been created for this conference is very, very user-friendly. And that is what I have to kind of applaud the entire team for, coming up with this very user-friendly portal, which also gives you access to chat, to network, as you rightly mentioned, while you're attending, parallel events and the sessions. So I think that is something which is phenomenal. Though we would all love to be physically present, meet each other, and enjoy the conference the pre-COVID era, but given the circumstances, I think IVI has the best portal and the experience that I've attended so far. So please do register for sure.
Thank you so much, Ukti, for those kind words.
Yeah. And talking about the major highlights, right? You did mention myopia, AI, big data, technology. Those things are definitely the highlight. But is there something which also focuses on the CE credits? Are there any CE credited courses and sessions that people can attend and that will help them for their OCI credits and stuff?
Yeah, look, based on what I just mentioned about being keynote topics, we do have a very impressive list of keynote speakers who have agreed. This includes Professor Matthew Burton from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Dr. Anthony Das from LV Prasad, Amanda Davis from Fred Hollows, Professor Kovin Naidu from Essilor International. We also have Professor Ian Bailey from Berkeley, Dr. Kate Gifford, who everyone knows, Mr. Bayani Abasmes, who's a barrister, and he was quite instrumental in developing the legal structure within Philippines, Obi Malopi from Africa, Dr. Babar Qureshi from CBM. Now, we also have a whole range of other pre-conference workshops that are being done, including working with IACL on contact lens management, working with LV Prasad on rehabilitation issues. We are working with BPOC on masterclass optometry on a session.
Right.
We also have targeted sessions, that deal with myopia in Africa. We also have a session with ASCO on sporting and contact lenses. So there's a whole range of things, and we are extremely thankful that OCI, will offer credits. So currently we are just discussing on the number of credits that they would offer. So, overall, I think it's going to be where people, especially within India, they can benefit with those OCI credits. People globally can benefit with the rich contents that are going to be part of the content. So
Absolutely. And I think how you mentioned and what you said was the best thing which I love about these virtual conferences is you are able to connect and listen to all international speakers from the comfort of the home. You are not traveling. You can kind of listen to these sessions even at your convenience in case if you missed one or two of them. There is an access without really any travel cost, any accommodation cost. Otherwise, all these things are going to kind of play when you want to attend, say, one or two conferences in a year. And the other thing is the global footprint, which everyone is talking about, the carbon footprint, where you have so much that goes into traveling and going to one location to attend a conference. So this definitely feels like the best of the best in terms of the situation.
Right.
And the speakers and the range of speakers that you have on your panel. So absolutely looking forward to it. Now, talking about, you mentioned that the conference did get an overwhelming response last year. And I also saw a post about the abstracts and things that were open where you again got an amazing, overwhelming response there as well. So do you feel this is becoming the future and this is how it's going to stay forever, or it's going to be more of a hybrid version coming forward?
Look, I mean, our role is to provide the platform, to be a catalyst, to be a nurturer for this sector, in especially the developing part of the world, and especially India. Right. So we're delighted with the number of abstracts. So there is, other than the keynotes, we do have, certain time slots where invited papers are given. And just because we had this large number of abstracts, which I think would be, we had about 250 abstracts. We can't take more than 80 to 100. So the rest would come, some of them might come as posters after that. So the contents are going to be quite rich, both from the keynote aspect as well as from the abstract papers that will be presented. So, definitely. And in terms of registrations, we are already, over 900 now. So I do expect that the registrations will be pretty similar or even more than last year.
Right.
So good. And it's got a very rich group of people who will be attending. So networking with them, I think, would be a good opportunity for everyone, who wants to be part of it. Now, coming back to your previous comment, I think, going forward, look, I'm a firm believer in meeting people, face to face. And I think, the time at this, today's, time and the pandemic and what it's created makes it, I guess, for the conference to be fully virtual. But I think there'll be a time where it's going to be a mix of virtual and physical. As you said before, not everybody can travel, but making it both virtual and physical, I think it's going to be a very strong possibility going forward. So every conference, I think, would probably be bigger than what any other conference has been, because see, right now being virtual is an accepted mechanism, and
Right.
people still crave for that physical,
Absolutely.
to get to know each other. I think sometimes it's good to meet people in flesh. So.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to say that, I have seen, at least in West, that there is another international conference called Vision Expo East, Vision Expo West, which is very, very famous, especially in United States. This year, the Vision Expo East did have a hybrid version. They did have a physical component as well as a virtual component. So I am expecting the same or similar thing to happen around the world as well as we grow.
Yeah. And I think that also makes it possible for people who, due to a variety of reasons, can't travel, for them to benefit.
Right.
People who probably can travel, they would benefit also. So I think it's a win-win.
Absolutely. And do you feel, I just wanted to confirm one other thing. All these sessions that are being conducted, they will be recorded, and people will have access even at a later stage if they are not able to.
Usually for the people who register, the platform would have those contents for a few days after that. So the people who
Perfect.
probably can't really access it, at that particular time slot, they probably can access, but then the platform would get closed.
Got it. Yeah.
There's a few, keynotes, especially we do have certain conference talks that would be available online, long term. But most others, I think, are meant for the conference.
Right.
You have an abstract booklet and all that kind of stuff. So that's all available to anyone who registers.
Got it. So do register and get access to all the content that's going to be out there. I think that's the bottom line. And make sure that you attend on the day off, so you don't miss out on anything interesting. Now, you did your first conference. You're now at the second conference. Things are definitely more streamlined. You've learned from the first experience and getting better. Are there major roadblocks or any hurdles during this journey?
Look, I think the first conference was the first time I think anyone really tried something big. I would say, within India, we were probably one of the first groups to really try, at least within this sector, and even globally. So a lot of people have commented, have come back, and we're going to be hosting a whole range of other conferences for other groups also, because of the kind of expertise we've gained and the way the first conference went.
Right.
The thing is, the trade fair element was something that we realized it's not that easy for us to have unless we are very innovative. So for this conference, we are not going to have a trade fair.
Okay.
We would probably have a few locations where people who are very involved with us are. We are so thankful to Essilor Luxottica for being the big sponsor. They're sponsoring the whole conference, and Bosch was supporting in some ways. So groups like that, and there's a bunch of others who are also helping us, in other ways. So for them to showcase what they have, otherwise, I think that's probably the only change in terms of contents. I think this conference will be much richer. So we just build on it, and people are getting to know us. Even the number of tracks have been much more. The keynote papers, are more. We did have certain panel discussion slots. So, in the plenary session, so we've actually converted that into more keynote sessions, paper slots. So that was the kind of feedback we had.
Right.
People to benefit. So I think this one's going to be richer, but that's how life is, I guess. You kind of learn, you build on it, you get better and better. Hopefully, by the time we do the 10th conference, it will be the perfect conference and everything. So.
Well, I felt it was great experience even in the first one. But as you rightly mentioned, things change. That the trade fair has changed. That's not going to be part. They're just few companies. So yes, I think by the time we have the 10th conference, which I am hoping would be more of a hybrid version, plus we'll be able to nail the small bits and pieces in which everyone can be part of it and can enjoy the experience. So because I live in United States, so for me, I really can't travel to the conference in India, but I would love to attend and be part of it. So I think for me, I'm super excited if world moves virtual, so I can attend more conferences versus just hear things or not be able to attend them. So yeah, absolutely, I'm looking forward to that change.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think we have covered quite a bit about, what to expect, what are the area of focus is, why someone should register. And I feel after listening to this episode, there is no doubt or question for anyone. And if they're still debating, I think they should register today. I'll be adding the information of, how to register, like the link in the description. So whoever wants to register, please do click on that link. Another thing which I had to mention was Nerdy Optometrist is a media partner. So I do have a special code for your discount. So do use Nerdy25 to get a discount for the registration as well. So I'll be adding all that information in the description. So do go ahead and register. Before I end this episode, any takeaway message that you have for all the listeners and potential delegates for the conference?
Look, I mean, I think overall, in other, the technical bits are very important. Mm-hmm. I think a platform like this provides, great content in terms of the technical aspect. So I think, everyone should benefit.
Right.
But don't miss out on the networking aspect, because I think it's important. It's important that you build relationships with others who are attending. It doesn't matter which part of the world. So use the platform to network. And mm-hmm. even if you can probably gain 5 or 6, good connections in the line of work that you are in, I mm-hmm. think it's great. I mean, that's a huge success. Don't miss out on that. Absolutely. So make sure, and I know that my message is, don't be shy to reach out, because mm-hmm. I think everybody who will be part of the conference is keen to meet other people from, other parts of the world, other states, in terms of, how they could learn, collaborate, work with each other. So make Absolutely. Sure, you benefit. In a physical conference, we do that physically. Maybe they have, morning, afternoon tea receptions and all that. This one, I think you just need to take the opportunity and just go to, the networking platform and talk to each other.
Absolutely. And I have to say this, talking about networking, it helped me as a podcast host, and I was able to connect with people from around the world. To mention a few, I was able to connect with people from IAPB, and we did a couple of episodes. Do connect with everyone. I will be there part of the event as well. So do reach out to me as well if you want to kind of talk and chat. And for people, sometimes, if you're physically there, you might feel shy to kind of go and approach. But this gives a little more support, because you are not physically facing them. You just have to message them. So I highly recommend anyone and everyone to use the networking. All right. So with that, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for your time and giving us the glimpse of what to expect. I'm excited, and I'm sure people who already registered are looking forward to it. And for those in doubt, will register it today. So thank you once again for your time, and really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ukti, and thank you, Nerdy Optometrist, for being a media partner, for supporting us in this conference, and look forward to working more closely together in future. And I look forward to interacting with many of your viewers during the conference and post that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.